There is more than one way to make money in the market. Just like there's more than one way to skin a cat. You can fillet it up real nice. You can use a belt sander. You can throw the cat into a cage with a honey badger and kind of just see what happens. And eventually you gotta ask yourself what went wrong in your life to make you think it was okay to start skinning cats. So in the market, everything comes down to basically 3 different ways to make money. Or you could call them 3 different types of edges. Now an edge is what puts you above the competition. It's what gives you the ability to actually profit over others. Now there are 3 types of edges: informational, analytical, and behavioral. So today we're gonna figure out what kind of edge your strategy has and how you can use that edge to make more money in the market. So the first type of edge is informational, which is basically having information that no one else does. So today in 2018, that would mean having a satellite that's able to track foot traffic at stores. Or it would be like having credit card and store receipt data. Basically having that big data that's such a buzzword nowadays. And it's pretty crazy what they can actually predict with this stuff. Like there's stories of Target predicting that a woman is pregnant even before she knew she was pregnant. Just based off her purchases, they start sending her mail about baby stuff. And then a week or 2 later, she's like, oh, I am pregnant. I guess I should be looking at this stuff. Kinda creepy. But not as creepy as a guy I once met who said he could just smell when a woman's pregnant. I was like, what the hell? Get that nose away from me, weirdo. Don't worry, I'm not friends with that guy. I walked away. Another way you could have that informational advantage is through extreme due diligence. That's like if you had a team of on-the-ground researchers that were going to the factories of microcap stocks. Or you could also have that classic Martha Stewart style insider knowledge, which I can't believe that woman isn't locked up still. She is a menace. So the thing with informational advantages is they usually get eaten away pretty quick. If one firm gets the technology like the satellite, then another firm is pretty close behind it in getting that same technology. So pretty soon they both have that special information and it's like neither one of them had it. The edge is gone. But honestly, if you're a retail investor, you probably didn't have access to any of that information anyway. So this is probably not where your edge is coming from. Sorry. But the second type of edge you could have is an analytical edge. So you can look at the same data as another guy, but come up with better conclusions that make you more money because you have a better understanding of the world. And that usually comes through better mental models and ways to analyze and things like that. So for example, say everyone thinks a certain company is fairly valued, but you on the other hand, you know, the cool guy, tough guy, smart guy with all those analytical abilities think it's actually undervalued. And then in the end, the market realizes it and you're actually proven right and you make the money in the end. So this analytical edge is something a retail investor can have, but it's honestly pretty tough. So for example, if you want that analytical edge in a certain industry, like say retail, then you gotta be studying it constantly. And you're also competing against analysts at banks whose whole job is just to study that one industry. So you gotta be constantly reading and constantly learning, and in my opinion, it's extremely time intensive and tough. And me, well, I don't like doing it because I'm also lazy. I like doing the least amount of work for the most amount of return. Plus, I like screwing around and enjoying my life outside of markets. All that research, I don't got time for that. I got other things to do. Like for example, I set a laugh quota for myself every day. And if I don't hit that quota of laughs for the day, well then I look at the man in the mirror and I ask him to change his ways. Thanks, MJ. And this is why I prefer the third edge, which is the behavioral edge. So this edge is really 2 parts. So the first is that you're able to control yourself and your emotions, so basically your behavior, better than anyone else can in the market. And second is that you actually understand the psychology and the behavior of others, so you can exploit it in the market itself. So the first part, controlling yourself and your emotions. That comes down to all the psychology stuff that we talk about on this channel. Like how to stick to your trading system, how to not break your rules, how to manage drawdowns so you don't puke out at the lows, and you know, all that management of the emotions that come from dealing with the market. So this self-discipline aspect of the market and all the managing the emotions, that's actually my favorite part. That's what attracted me to the markets in the first place, because we all know something about putting your money on the line makes people crazy. So trying to manage that sent me down my own path of trying to figure out my own crazy mind, and that's what led me to self-control and my new Zen abilities, you could call them. They're not that fancy, it's just like controlling yourself. But those abilities that I learned applied not just to the markets, but applied to everything else in my life. Everything got better. And once you figure out how to control yourself, you pretty much figured it out. It's not really changing. Because you know, human nature doesn't really change. So now I know what's going on if I'm feeling sad or angry, or if I'm feeling some FOMO. And I know things like if AK is hungry, no one should be talking to me because I'm liable to bite your head off. It's all that self-realization and discipline and control and psychological mastery that I really enjoy. And like I said, it doesn't change. Unlike the analytical edge, where if you're focused on a specific specific industry is changing all the time with how fast technology is progressing. So you always got to be learning something new. So this same idea applies to understanding other people in the market. It comes down to behavior and psychology, right? And that doesn't change either. How people were thousands of years ago is pretty much the same psychologically as they are today. And because it stays the same, you can exploit that. And the way I personally do it is through momentum. So momentum is considered an anomaly in the market. Now there's a lot of theory about why momentum actually works and why it's there, such as herding and just the nature of people, of when something gets popular, more people want to pile in, or people liking winners over losers. Lots of different theories, but the point is momentum has been proven time and time again to exist in the market. And that comes from human nature, because markets are just people, right? So by exploiting that edge, I'm able to ride the big trends that happen in the market. And as I keep saying, it doesn't change, right? So I could exploit that anomaly today and I could exploit it tomorrow. It's gonna always be there whenever there's a market. So that's why I prefer the behavioral edge. But that's just me. I wanna hear what you prefer. Let me know in the comments how your strategy works and what edge it uses. I'd love to discuss it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell for notifications of new videos. We release about 3 a week, all market related. So subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Stay fallible out there. Bye.